Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another segment of Chats with Cath with me, Cath. And I have a guest speaker here with me, Chabi Chubs. Hi.
Hey, Cath. Hey, everyone.
How's it going?
I'm good, girl. How are you?
I'm fine. Can you introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are to me?
Oh, hectic. I love these sessions. Okay. So I'm Chabi, or Masa Chaba.
Yeah.
Minute.
Yeah.
I am a digital marketing professional specializing in social media.
Yes.
Primarily social listening and engagement.
Yes.
And yeah, that's who I am.
Amazing. So today we are just going to be discussing and delving into relationship Hunger Games, and I'm going to ask you 5 questions just so that we can unpack your experience in dating and your thoughts and insights or any wisdom or knowledge that you can impart for all the other youngings or anybody else who's just like struggling as well.
Got you. Insert dramatic piano.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, cool. So first question, can you tell me what is the difference between what dating was like for you in your 20s versus now in your 30s?
Ooh. Okay. I think dating in my 20s, I would say more trial and error within anything. I think at that point in time, I was just, in general, I was in a point of self-discovery. I was just trying to figure out life, things I wanted to do, trying to like learn myself, trying to discover, rediscover, learn, unlearn, all of those things. So I think that was my general approach to dating.
Yeah.
I was open to the idea that I don't know what I want, but I'm willing to find out.
Yes.
And then I think there were a few owls here and there. You know what I mean?
Yes. My sister educated me 2 episodes
Solid
back.
owls, but I held them. You know what I mean? I took the lesson and I kept it moving. But the one thing about me, you won't catch me slipping twice.
No.
Like, I think that was one of the things I decided for myself. I was like, okay, cool. Like, once I've made that mistake, there's no
never
need
again
to learn that lesson twice. I'm okay. It is what it is. Let's keep it moving.
Yes.
And that was my general, that was just my approach in my 20s. I don't know, I felt young, not necessarily reckless, but like I was young and I was like, okay, cool. Like this, if I'm gonna do it, this is the time, this is the time to do it. So
100%.
that was pretty much where mentally, emotionally, where I was at. I had a few good experiences, a few really solid relationships.
Nice.
I think I invested my time wisely in that sense. Like
nice. I like that.
It felt fruitful, felt worthwhile. It felt, it was rewarding, and I'd like to believe it was rewarding for both sides of the fence. So that was my 20s in general.
Now
my 30s, I think now I'm just I wouldn't say I'm cautious, but it's just like there are things that I'm not willing to renege on.
Yes.
I'm certain about certain things about myself.
Yes.
Like I've learned enough about myself where I feel like I'm confident enough to trust my gut feeling.
Yes.
I'm not willing to make too many contingencies about core values, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think that's where I'm at, and
the things must align.
Yeah,
like
things
it mustn't
align
be
and
me. Like we mustn't be confused as to who we are and where we're going.
And I'm okay with letting go. I think in my 20s I used to view like breakups and like letting go, like, oh damn, this is a failure. What did I do wrong? Like I wanted to fix things.
Okay.
There's just a general personality trait. Like I like knowing what went wrong, how to fix things so that I can move forward with things. But then now I'm just at the point where I'm like, oh, sometimes it is what it is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's not you, it's actually them sometimes.
Not even besides that, like sometimes it's just okay, it didn't work out, and it's not necessarily like you're the villain, I'm the villain. It's just a case of we tried this thing, it didn't work, and it's okay.
You're not for me, I'm not for you.
Yes, and it's okay for us to let go. Like, I thought for me, a lot breakups were like, oh shit, this is a failure, something went wrong. Whereas opposed to, you know what, maybe this just isn't for either one of us.
Yeah.
And that being okay. So I'm definitely at that point now in my life. And
wisdom.
Yeah, you know, and like the concept of forever is no longer something that I frame my relationships with. I'm just on some, is this a fruitful partnership between two people, yes or no?
Yes.
And for as long as it's a yes, then I'm, you know, for both parties, then I'm willing to stick it out.
Yeah.
And when I see that, okay, maybe this isn't something that is cultivating for both of us, then I'm okay to kind of step away from that situation. So yeah, learning balance, I think. Having balance in my is one thing that I've learned to tap into in my 30s.
I really like that, because like when you mention balance, it's also like you're very sure of yourself. Like you know who you are as a person, and you know where you're going.
Yeah, like I just
And
I know, right? Like, is this a roadblock?
It's like old BMWs, or is it just me?
Is it a flex? I don't know what it is, but I'm also looking at blue lights.
Yeah, I'm just like,
So-
okay.
I don't know.
Don't worry, I'll edit that part out.
Don't worry.
People will be like, what
What are you guys
looking
going on
at?
about?
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. No, I love that. And then the next question is, have you tried online dating, and what has been the good, the bad, and the ugly experiences you have experienced?
Ooh, online dating. I've definitely tried it.
Yeah.
Fortunately enough, I can say I haven't had a terrible experience, an overly
You're
bad.
the second person who said that they've never had like a suspicious encounter.
Like, I've never had an experience where I was like, this is a crazy person and they might harm me. Maybe let me not do this. Like, fortunately enough, I haven't had that.
Yay, thank God.
What can I say about online dating? So for me, it was fine. It was just that, and that I think that was probably the issue. It was just fine. I never went on a date where I felt like, ooh,
I'm in danger.
No, not even just that. Like, I felt like, ooh, this is my guy. Like, this is like I mess with you heavy. You know, like I see where we could go with this.
Wedding bells, children,
You know
house
what I mean?
in
Like,
the
I
burbs.
can see long-term vibes. Oh
Yeah.
wait, actually, there was one guy where I was just like, we were vibing so well, like we were so good, and I was just like, ooh, there's something there. But then on the first date, he mentioned that he didn't want kids and he never wanted to have kids. And
snap.
at that point in my life, I was like, I might want to have kids. I wasn't like,
I'm not writing it off.
but I wasn't writing it off completely. So then I just took the decision at that point. I was like, you know what? I don't think then
This will work.
Yeah, we should invest time into trying to make this work when we disagree on such a very big topic. Like, I feel like there's certain things where you can be on the fence about things, or we can agree to disagree. Kids are not one of those things. It's like, it's either you have them or you don't, you know what I mean? So I just thought, you know what, I hear you, my G, and I'm not gonna argue with you. Like, I feel like you know yourself well enough to know this about you.
Yes.
And I know me enough to know that this is not something that I'm like willing to to write off for myself right now, at least. So I was like, okay, cool. So it was a lovely date. He was a great guy, and I think we're still friends. Well, not think we're still friends, but like we keep in touch every once in a while. So we're pretty cool like that.
Nice.
And there were a couple of other days that were just like that, like really like chill human beings,
Chill vibes.
nice guys. But then it just never got to the point where I was just like, okay, let's go to the next level.
Okay, got you. I like that, because like I've heard like some interesting stories from other peeps.
I can imagine.
About the experiences about like online dating. With me, it's just always been like, for some reason, the Netflix and chill crowd is always like in my DMs.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, you can miss me.
The
Thanks.
Netflix and chill gang, the catfish gang.
Yes, the catfish gang.
Or the guys that just like You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
for me, I'm always wary about the guys that pretend to be nice guys, or like who are self-proclaimed nice guys, because then it's almost like they want to be rewarded for
for being a decent human,
being a baseline human decency. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's the part where I'm just like,
Suspicious.
Very suspicious. I don't need that in my life. So the second they hear no, they flip the switch and they lose their shit. So I've always been like worried about bumping into that type of guy.
Yeah.
Through online dating. The reason I just don't do it anymore, like, I think for me, it's exhausting. Like, it's having that many conversations with that many people. I mean, granted, you can filter the number of people you speak to, but like speaking to multiple people at the same time, it really kind of takes it out of me. So, and also I feel like certain things don't translate online. Like, and I'm the kind of person that I like to work off of energy. Like, I'm very susceptible to people's energies. So I give as good as I get, if that 100%, makes sense. You know
yes,
what I mean?
100%.
So a lot of the times, I don't necessarily feel like I translate online.
Yeah.
And some of the times I feel like I'm not picking up, like, I'm not getting
like,
stuff. Yes.
Yeah. No, I hear.
And then there's other niggas who will just talk you to death. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? How are you doing? How's your day? Good morning, good night. And my God. And it's like, are we ever gonna go have coffee? Yes. Like, you know what I mean? Do not waste my time.
Can I just like see you in real life?
You know what I mean?
Just, like,
and the second you don't respond, oh, are you still there? Are you good? Oh no, just checking in. Why?
Nigga,
Where is this going?
No.
Like, a nigga will, how you doing?
No,
well, how are you doing you to death?
No, stop. It's like, you can lose my number. Please, I get so...
just leave me. Like, if you have zero intentions about getting to actually know me, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
actually
me in
dating
peace.
me, then just, this is not mix-it things. It's not mix-it days. Like, you don't have to talk to me for the sake of talking to me. Just let's leave it. Let's move on. Yes.
My day is fine. I'm fine.
Make space for the niggas that do want to date me. Like, just get out of the way. You
just
know?
Like step aside. To the left.
You know what I mean? Like, if I'm not for you, I'm not for you. And that's okay.
And but really, that is okay.
Yes, but just don't, like, wasting my time.
That is the worst.
So I remove myself almost immediately, very quickly in situations like that, when I can see, like, this isn't going anywhere.
It's just like, how you doing? How you doing?
I mean? It's like, stage in our lives, Cath, I've got things to do. You know what I mean?
we're trying to like chase deadlines out here, and we're trying to like get our paper, and people are just like, how you doing? And like for me, I get so bored, and I get like very annoyed as well, because I'm just like, is there anything else that you can say that's besides how you're doing? Can we have an actual intellectual conversation where can you speak sense?
Yes, can I get to know who you are as a person? What are your thoughts?
Speak sense. Don't speak nonsense, and then like I'm just looking at you and you're looking at me, and then I'm annoyed at you because you're not using your words.
Do you think you can get that type of, like, that level of depth over?
No, I don't think so, because I had like that situation where I met someone who actually tracked me down via Instagram. And like we were seeing each other for like a period of time, and then eventually he just like ghosted, because I think he was still in love with his ex-wife and his the mother of his children, and I think he couldn't go past or see that, like, I can actually be happy with someone else rather than my ex-wife. And I think she was also responsible in a way of making things very complicated in our relationship, because she had a lot to say about certain things. Like, he would ask her opinion on, like, do you think Catherine will like these flowers? Or do you think... When I found that out, I was just like, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, the relationship of the season has come to an end.
Oh no. I mean, as much as she was meddling, I also feel like the responsibility sits with him
100%
to hold the boundaries, because there's no need for you to be doing that,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was going into Suspicious Nation, and I just was not
And you're
subscribed.
like, unsubscribe.
I literally, I stopped liking, I stopped sharing, and I unsubscribed so quickly.
And the sooner you do that, the better. I hate, because
honestly speaking,
after a while, like after a certain amount of time, he's gonna make it a you thing. Like, yeah, but you knew this about me. You knew this about my
100%.
situation.
I don't want it to be like
why you mad
that.
at my baby mama? She's always gonna be. You know
I
what
don't
I mean?
want to fight with you and I don't want to fight with you and your baby
Gaslit,
mama.
you know what I mean?
I'm not trying to like tell you guys how to raise your children. I'm not trying to whatever. I was thinking that I had a human connection with you and seeing how it would go and all these things, and you just made it weird.
Would you ever date a man that has kids again? Would you ever try like a dynamic like that?
I would not mind. I would not mind, because.
But under what circumstances?
I would not mind under the circumstances where this is funny. Now the questions are coming to me. You must answer the same question.
For sure.
Because that was one of my other questions.
Oh, really? Great. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'll get into
So
it.
I would not mind dating another man with like children, or if they're divorced or anything like that, under the circumstances that if your baby mama is involved in your dating life, then you can miss me, hey.
Yeah.
Like I don't see the value. I don't see how we can be a unit together, and then she's involved. I understand she's involved with your children and all these things. The 100%. I will not fight you. I will not try interject myself. I understand these are your kids and you want them whatever. And hopefully,
if they're friends, or if like they're friendly,
yes, I do not mind if they're friendly and like they're decent. I don't want to be a Lifetime movie inspiration situation where the baby mama is coming for me and things like that. And I was just like, hey, bro, I thought we were friends. Exactly. So I would not mind, but I need to know that you're secure in yourself, knowing that we're going to be dating and we're going to be together, and you're trying to incorporate me in your life, but then also under the understanding that you're not going to treat me as a second-class citizen. You're not going to treat me like, my ex-wife or my baby mama comes first before you. It's like, okay, but then why aren't you two together then?
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah,
that's a solid chat.
Yeah. And what about you?
I think I always go back and forth on this. Just it would have to be worth it. He would need to be like a combination of like the love of my life, like it would need to be one of those situations where like I cannot see myself with anybody else but you.
It has to make sense.
Just because I just know that like the step parent and the step parent dynamic with other people's kids is a bit tricky. I'm not necessarily worried about the other adult in the room, because then we can face each other as adults. It's just the kids that get involved in that situation, because then I always find that sometimes you feel like, I can't like you because I have to pick sides. Like I have to pick my mom's side. You know what I mean? Regardless of how genuine you're trying to be and how nice you're trying to be as a quote unquote step parent, that for me would suck the most. So it's incredibly tricky. So I honestly feel like I would have to defer to the person's I'd have to see how they manage the situation, the person that I'm dating. Based on that, then I would probably try it. But like I said, you would need to be like the most decent human being ever.
Like you have to like be like, you are the one. You're the one.
Yes, because then I think you're the common denominator here between you, me, and the kids, you, me, and your whoever, or the mother of your children. You know. So if you're not managing that situation in a way that is conducive for everybody that's involved, obviously you're not the only person accountable,
100%,
but you are the center, like you are the cornerstone. So
exactly. If you can't be adults about it,
if you are the one whiling, then
it's fine. Hey?
Minus myself out of that situation, because I can only control my actions and my emotions.
100%.
But I would hope and pray that it would be a healthy enough dynamic where it's just like they've got a clean break, and they're co-parenting in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Because I think for me it would be a very red flag if you were, oh, my baby mama's this, oh, screw her, screw that.
No.
Then I'd be like, nope.
Thank you so much,
Exactly.
you
Or if
guys.
she's the kind of person who's like mad toxic, then I'm just like, I don't want any parts of this.
Yeah, it's
Thank
fine.
you and goodbye.
Yeah, thank you so much.
But a part
I've
of
learned a
me-
lot, and yeah, peace in the Middle East.
But a part of me, I mean, if I am gonna be with somebody and this is somebody that I'm spending the rest of my life with, ideally I would like to be the only mother of his kids.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That's fair. That's fair.
Especially
And you know
if-
what you want.
Yes,
Yeah.
especially because I don't have kids as well.
Yeah.
So I want the joy and the excitement around having our first child to be
children.
our experience.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So
And stay that way.
and
Hopefully you guys
hopefully
stay together until
exactly,
you
and stay
die.
that way. So that's still my primary preference.
Yeah.
Like that's still where my heart is.
Yeah.
But like I said, it would have to be like, you know, if I did date somebody who had a child before,
Yeah.
or was married before,
Yeah.
it would have to be one of those like situations where it feels like, okay, this is ordained.
Yes.
This
feels right.
feels incredibly right. It would have to feel that good for me to
Yeah.
continue.
If it doesn't, it's like, you know what?
if I'm
It's
still
not
on the
meant to
fence
be.
about it, like yes, no, maybe, then nah. Then I
it's
wouldn't
not-
risk
it's
it.
not it.
I wouldn't continue further.
I like that. And then going into the fourth question, we're almost done.
Gotcha.
In your experience, right? Like, what would you impart in terms of like the key thing that you need to be assured by yourself for pursuing a relationship? Like, I think we touched on it like when we were busy discussing people with like who are in previous relationships, children are
Yeah.
involved and stuff like that. But like, what is the core thing for alignment and for understanding for you that like this relationship like it
What's
is
the
meant to
one
be?
thing that would make me feel certain about
Yeah.
the relationship?
Yeah.
Good about it. Oh,
Yeah.
That's a very good question. Okay. For me, I think so. I'll never forget this thing that I heard. I can't remember who I heard it from, but I might have read it or I might have heard it from a friend. But it was something about, I'm going to butcher this quote, but it was something along the lines of love isn't looking into each other's eyes, it's looking in the same direction. And for me, that was kind of like boom, mind-blowing type thing. I'm like, if we
That's a
are
good
in
quote.
alignment and we are like, not to use a biblical reference, but if we're like in alignment and we're equally yoked and we want the same things, I think there's very little that can harm the relationship from an external point of view. If you guys you want the same things, you are headed in the same direction at the same pace, because that's another thing that I feel like timings sometimes are always off. In the same pace, and you are willing to fight for each other, and you are like equally yoked. And then by that I mean like you are, you know what I mean, like the levels of baggage are not drastically different.
100.
The effort is not completely different. Like I'd like to be in a situation or a dynamic where I'm giving 100% of myself, they're giving 100% of themselves and effort to try and make it work. So I would want a relationship where someone brings the full extent of themselves into it, and I also would like to be in a situation where I can be the full length and breadth of who I am in this dynamic and still feel comfortable around you. So if I can
100.
feel that, and if I can feel like, oh, okay, cool, I can genuinely be myself around this person, then I feel, for me, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I like that. Going into the last question, what words of wisdom would you impart for the youngings out there, like in the streets? We're like still for the streets.
Oh, I genuinely hate giving advice because I'm just like... No, honestly speaking, because sometimes like you literally just need to do it. You just need to date. Like watching other people do it and like obviously it's great to learn from other people's experience, because we don't all need to catch an L for us to recognize that that's a bad situation.
Yeah.
But for me, I would say, okay, if you want to date for the sake of dating, that's fine.
Yeah.
Go, like, just do it.
But tell the person, I'm just dating for vibes.
Exactly. And then, like, but also I just think it's for you to kind of learn the kind of dynamic that you want to be in. Because as much as you're learning about yourself in terms of your life, and ideally that's what I think you should be doing in your 20s. Learn who you are, discover who you are, like, invest in yourself, like, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all the ways. Invest in your ways, like, really trying to bed that down and figure out who you are.
Yeah.
But like, something that I think is equally important is also just dating, and, like, doing it in a responsible way. Doing it in be open, honest, and transparent.
Don't be reckless.
Yes, and don't be reckless with people's emotions. But I think the best way to know what you want out of a relationship is actually just be in relationships sometimes. And that doesn't mean, like, back to back relationship, never be single. That just means that when you are in a relationship, be in that relationship. Like, really,
like, get to know the person, know you.
Know yourself in relation to that person. You know what I mean? Because that's also slightly different. And then take that lesson and then move on, you know?
Yeah.
So that would have been my advice to my younger self. Like, don't be scared to date. Like, go out there, find healthy, meaningful relationships, not just romantic relationships.
And learn from them.
And just learn from them. Like, your friendships you learn just as much from your friendships as you do from your relationships. So just learn how to relationship, because you're always going to be in community with other human beings. So just learn how to, have dynamics with other human beings. So
like, hi, other human. Can you human with me?
Yes, like, make space for them as well. Like, be interested as much as you are interesting. Like, just really, really just learn how to live with other people.
100%. No, I love that. Well, Chabi, we've come to a close. Thank you so much for joining me on this chat and imparting, like, very good nuggets of wisdom and, insights into, like, your experience. Perhaps people will learn from this, take from this, and, like, go forth and conquer, and not conquer, but, like, go forth, do the things, and just enjoy your life.
Absolutely.
Enjoy your life.
Thank you so much, Cath. This was a lot of fun.
I'm glad. So, you guys, I will leave Chabi's details in the description box below, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much for joining this chat, and see you soon in the next episode. Bye.
With that being said, you guys, go with God, and see you soon in the next episode. Ciao!